Welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. Coming up for you today is a Barcelona news roundup, and I have to say there's three very big stories to bring you, three big updates on three big players. Whether the story is just beginning, maybe it's developing, maybe it's reached its crescendo, because in today's video we are going to be coming up with the latest on Ajax's Matthijs de Ligt. We're also going to be discussing Neymar Jr. and also, for the first time in a Barcelona news roundup this summer, we are going to be discussing the latest on Dani Alves. It's all coming up. There's a lot to discuss. Let's do this. Starting first and foremost with Matthijs de Ligt, who of course we have discussed right throughout the summer transfer window so far. It is very much a saga, and every single day there are some new reports. But yesterday came some very big news that broke out of Italy with regard to de Ligt potentially joining Juventus. Now, Di Marzio, who's a very reliable source, also Sky in Italy, made a lot of noise yesterday about de Ligt potentially moving to Juventus this summer. And honestly, when the news first came out, when it was widely reported, it was almost as though de Ligt was moments away from joining Juventus. But to be honest, that news there, that initial report, it was quite overblown. Because like I say, initially it was like a massive story. It was as though de Ligt had chosen Juventus, that was the be-all, end-all, everything was done, everything was complete. But according to those reports, if you look closer into it, if you actually look at what the details that were spoken, it's very clear that things aren't done. All that's happened here with the reports from Di Marzio, with the reports from Italy, from Sky in Italy, all that's happened here is Mino Raiola has personally closed a deal with Juventus. They are happy to pay what he wants. They dealt with him before, of course, through the Paul Pogba deal. He got a massive chunk of that money, and certainly Juventus will be used to working with Mino Raiola. And also what has happened, according to those reports, is that they would also pay the fee that Ajax would want this summer for the centre-back. They have the funds there in Juventus to pay the big transfer fee for Matthijs de Ligt. But what I want to say there is, that's absolutely no different to what the situation is with Paris Saint-Germain. Juventus, PSG, they both agreed terms with Raiola. They'll both happily pay what he wants in agency fees, and also, of course, in terms of the wages that Matthijs de Ligt wants, because according to reports in Italy, de Ligt has been offered a contract of around 300,000 per week, and possibly even beyond that by Juventus, which would there make him the second highest paid player in Serie A altogether, only second to Cristiano Ronaldo. And of course, PSG, very much the same. They're also going to offer him big wages, potentially even more than that. And what we know right now is PSG, Juventus, they have met Raiola's fee, they've met de Ligt's fee, they will meet Ajax's fee. Barcelona will also agree a fee with Ajax. We're happy to pay the transfer fee, but what we haven't done is offer de Ligt what he wants in terms of wages, and certainly we are not going to bow to Mino Raiola's demands. The Telegraph this morning in Holland, another very reliable source, say that Raiola has been given full control by de Ligt to go out this summer and get himself the best possible offer, and hopefully with several different alternatives. And certainly that's what Raiola's done. He's gone to PSG, there's a massive offer there. They've gone to Juventus now, also an equally big offer from Serie A. With Barcelona, a lucrative move there is also on the table, but not for as much of those two. However, the deal from our side is not completely dead. Both Cat Radio and Minute have both come out and said Barcelona still, to this moment, to this day, they have not received a definitive no from Matthijs de Ligt or from Mino Raiola. They have not rejected, like I've said before, like I said in the past few days, they have not rejected Barcelona's offer yet. It is still very much on the table. But what we do know is PSG and Juventus will offer more. Barcelona, as it stands, will not increase their offer. They've not gone back in with a new one. That's not to say they won't do that. That is still a possibility. They're monitoring the market. They're monitoring Juventus. They're monitoring Paris Saint-Germain. They're waiting to see what happens. I wouldn't rule us out coming back in with something bigger. But as of right now, we are in the fight, but certainly not at the front of the queue. And of course, that brings us now onto another superstar and another very expensive procedure, also regarding some interesting personal terms. It is, of course, Neymar Jr. So much has been said, so much has been reported over the past few days, over the past few weeks, with regard to Neymar's possible return to Barcelona. But I have to say, over the past few days, I haven't spoken about it hardly at all. The reason for that is the intensity of the rumours in the past few days, the past few hours at least, have really really, really cooled down, certainly in the majority of the local media in Barcelona and also beyond that. And I think right there, the driving force behind that is the several reports that have come out of France with regard to that transfer fee, with regard to the fee that PSG would demand if Neymar were to leave this summer. That's why, for me, in Spain, the reports have cooled. The interest from Barcelona has certainly gone down just a tad, because Paris United, an outlet there from the French media, they claim that PSG would ask for a transfer fee this summer and an offer worth 350 million euros if Neymar was to leave. And also Telefoot there claimed that it would take 300 million euros to get Neymar out of Paris. And I think we're all in agreement right here that it doesn't matter, even if Neymar wants this return more than anything else in the world right now, if PSG are demanding offers of around 300 million for his services, never going to happen. Not only with Barcelona, but I would say any club in the world, it's not going to happen for that amount of money. Even the original 222 million euros that Paris Saint-Germain bought Neymar for back in 2017, even if we had to pay that or make an offer worth that with players, with exchanges plus cash right now, that would still be a really, really tall order for Barcelona. Anything beyond that, 300 million, no chance at all. That will not happen. Sport, though, they've come out with something. They're not going to be put off by those French reports. Sport have been very, very full on right throughout this Neymar saga. They've come out with yet another Neymar-related cover here. This time, they're claiming that Neymar has told his former Barcelona teammates via a WhatsApp conversation, he said the following: "Relax, I am coming." And I always think about these kind of rumours, and I always step back and I just wonder, how on earth can you possibly claim to know that kind of information? How can you say that you've there got information on a private conversation that hasn't been disclosed there to the media, unless, of course, it's been leaked? Sport there going with a WhatsApp conversation. They still believe that Neymar to Barcelona is a possibility. But what I would say there is, it's very, very strange to me how Sport are completely silent, and I mean completely silent, on Antoine Griezmann. They refuse to talk about him coming to Barcelona. But when it comes to Neymar, something also very, very expensive, very difficult deal there. They just can't get enough of it. They keep reporting about Neymar, whatever happens. But at the end of the day right now, those reports coming out from France claiming that big, big transfer fee, that is the big stumbling block. Neymar, according to reports in the Spanish media over the past few days, he would lower his demands, he would lower his wages, he would drop the lawsuit against the club right now. That 26 million unpaid loyalty bonus would go amiss if he were to join Barcelona. He would be willing to sort of accept those conditions that have been put on the table, but like I say, before any of that can take place, personal terms, any of that stuff, you've got to agree the transfer fee. And if the transfer fee is that high from Paris Saint-Germain, no chance at all. But of course, as this summer develops, if Neymar were to come out publicly and say, look, I want to leave PSG, I don't want to be here, that would put them in a very difficult position. Yes, he's under contract, but at the same time, Nasser Al-Khelaifi will not want to star at his club with a Champions League dream disrupting things from the inside. Neymar's future right now rests with the player himself. He is still in control, but what will he do in the coming days and weeks? That certainly is one to keep an eye on. But believe me guys, just because the reports right now surrounding Neymar coming back to Barcelona have cooled down a little bit, don't think here that we don't have more Brazilian return rumours coming up for you, because up next, oh yes, we continue, it's Dani Alves, who has officially confirmed this summer that he'll be leaving Paris Saint-Germain when his contract expires on July the 1st. He spent 2 years in Paris in total, where once again, he has conquered yet another league title as a professional footballer, and all of this means, of course, that Dani Alves this summer is going to be a very, very valuable free agent for a club to come in and pick up for absolutely nothing. Obviously, there's going to be a signing on fee. Obviously, Dani Alves would probably command pretty high wages, but at the same time, no fee attached there. For a guy that, yes, right now is 36 years old, he's certainly not in his prime, but at the same time, you can't watch Alves right now. You can't watch him game in, week in, week out, and you can't come away from that thinking he's a guy there, his legs have gone, he's at the end of his career, because right now he still looks fresh, he's still certainly a valuable asset on the field, and you look at him yesterday playing for Brazil against Peru at Copa America, he was sensational. He's still just as energetic, just as influential on that right hand side. He scored a brilliant goal yesterday, combining with brilliant teammates, 1-2 combinations. We saw that so often, didn't we, at Barcelona, with Messi, with Dani Alves, linking up those 1-2s, that telepathic understanding. It was wonderful, wonderful to watch. And let's just not forget, a few days ago, Dani Alves Alves came out and said the following words: Barcelona is my home. I've always said that, and I cannot say anything else. I love that club and everything that I've achieved there. I love all of the people who are still part of the club and all the teammates who still remain at Barcelona. 391 appearances he made right throughout his time there. So many trophies. He conquered every single trophy imaginable. 100 assists. And of course, one of the greatest fullbacks for me the world has ever seen. And right on cue, of course, Barcelona will come into the reckoning once again. According to Rack 1, just a few days ago, Dani Alves offered himself to Barcelona for the coming season on a free transfer. Dani Alves, according to Rack 1, who aren't always the most reliable, they certainly had the slip-ups over the summer so far, but they say Alves would return, and right now the club are considering their options. Nothing is ruled out, nothing is being confirmed, no more discussions have taken place, but as of right now, they haven't shut the door, they haven't said no, and that would be extraordinary, simply because Dani Alves, of course, left back in 2016. There was a big dispute with the board. He didn't feel valued. He didn't feel like he was happy here at the club anymore under the current regime. And certainly to go back on that, to actually accept a return with the same board in charge, it would be incredible. But at the same time, it could be said for Neymar too. Neymar also really didn't get on with the board. He even has that ongoing lawsuit against them, but still, he wants to come back. Barcelona, once it's in your veins, once it's in your heart, it's very, very difficult to actually get rid of it. You want to come back. You want to enjoy those memories once again. And of course, these kind of players, Dani Alves in particular, a wonderful player, a charismatic person, such a wonderful understanding, like I say, with so many of our legends over the years, and a wonderful, wonderful player. But like I say, 36 years old now, but still, does he have the quality? And believe me guys, you will be needed in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Matthijs de Ligt, what do you see happening with de Ligt right now? Do you think that he will go on and join Juventus? Do you think that Barcelona should come back in and up their offer? Let me know your thoughts on that. What's your thoughts on Neymar and the possible transfer fee that could be demanded for him this summer by Paris Saint-Germain? Do you still think that a return is possible? And finally, with Dani Alves, could he return alongside Neymar? This summer is completely mental. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll be back later on, of course, to review Argentina against Qatar at Copa America. Let's hope for the best. But until next time, guys, as always, Visca el Barça.